Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Reverend Wright, and the Bible says that we are not ignorant of the devil's devices, his tactics, his strategies that he uses to defeat us. So I want to talk about how the devil intends to undermine us and destroy us. Let's dive into this. The Bible says that Satan is a very clever spirit. He is smart, brilliant, and the word I would like to use in this topic, in this subject, is that he is a mastermind, and how he comes at us, the strategies that he uses to get us to fall. We are going to talk about this today. The first thing I would like you to know is that Satan does not have new tricks and strategies up his sleeve to distract and destroy us. He's been using the same tricks and strategies since the beginning of time. Our first case in point is Adam and Eve. Did you know or did you realize the same strategy he used on Adam and Eve, he tried it again when he came to Job and his wife? Let's look at it. Satan knew that Adam was way too strong to come directly and try to get him to disobey Yahweh. So he went to the one thing he knew that was Adam's true weakness, and that was Eve. So he came to Eve and he deceived her because he knew that she was vulnerable. So that is how Satan works. He finds weaknesses and attacks. A man's true weakness is a woman. Yes, it is a woman. There's a lot of things men would not normally have done if it wasn't for the woman. She comes into his life. He falls madly in love. And now you see him doing things he wouldn't have normally done on his own. He's cleaned up. He's doing better. He's shaping up. He's going out. Some things he would never have done if he wasn't married to his wife. Now, ladies, please do not get upset with this next statement. I'm not attacking women. I'm not saying women are inferior to men or any of that. I'm not a sexist. I'm just going to give you some facts, the reason why things are the way they are, and how the devil works in destroying us as humans, and how he attacks us because he knows the true weakness. The Bible says that the head of every man is God, and the head of every woman is the man. To protect her and to keep her safe from seducing spirits who desire to prey on her. See, it's very important for us to follow divine order, because divine order was set in place to keep us safe from the enemy who desires to hurt us. This was Satan's plan from the very beginning. His plan was to remove the man out of position and leave the woman vulnerable to seducing spirits. Yahweh always intended for a man to be over the woman all of her life, not to rule her, but to protect her, to keep her safe. This was Yahweh's plan, but Satan cleverly has messed this up. How, you may ask? By men abusing their power, they have ruined what Yahweh intended. Now the woman looks at the man over her as being something of a sexist or something that's degrading her. Not a protection, but something that is against her, not for her. This is important to understand, that Satan has devised this plan. Divide and conquer was his plan. Now you have women saying stuff like, I don't need a man. I can do whatever a man can do. Now we have women out there pushing hard to prove that they are smarter, more dominant, better than men. He has successfully split us and got us against each other when we should be working together. Satan is truly a mastermind. He has divided us as a country, white against black, men against women. How are we going to survive like this? We are in trouble as a race, as a people, as a country, because we cannot get along as we constantly at each other's throats. How does Satan get us to do what we normally wouldn't have done on our own? Let's dive into this one. Satan's plan has never changed. He constantly does the same thing he's always done. He relentlessly attacks our minds. And if we are not careful and aware, we will succumb to his trickery. This is something Satan has known and understood since the beginning, and something we must know and understand now if we are going to survive and win this fight. He understands that the mind determines the body's function. If the mind is damaged in any way, the body is not going to function properly. So he knows if he wants to get the body, he must first get the mind. For example, if Satan wants to turn you into a life of crime, he's going to start first by planting those thoughts in your mind, getting you to think on those thoughts, getting you to envision yourself doing that. He starts slowly at first, but his aim, his goal is to get you to start visualizing yourself doing what he wants. And whenever Satan comes to you and talks to you, it's always in first person. Never third person. He wants you to believe that it's you and not him saying these things. How do I know? Because he does this to me all the time. But I have a trick for him. I refuse to allow that to get to me. For example, I remember when Satan tried to get me to like men, tried to turn me into a homosexual. I would dream about it. It would be in my dreams. And whenever I bump or see a man, a voice would come up to me and say stuff like, I like that, or I like him, I want him, stuff in that nature. And he did that all the time. You see, the voice that was speaking to me sounded like me, sounded like my conscience. So he was trying to make me believe that I was actually feeling that and thinking that. It was a trick. And I understood it and I knew it. I knew that that's not what I wanted and that's not what I wanted to be. So I fought back. Here's how you fight this. Here is the true power of the devil. He understands that if he can shift your mind to believing or thinking a certain way, then he knows that your feelings and your body and all of you will shift in that direction. So you'll start feeling how you're thinking. So he attacks the mind, give you thoughts, impressions, and get you to think a certain way so that you will feel that way. This is how you fight back on this. Never ponder on the seed that he planted in your mind. Pondering is giving the seed sunshine and rain. Everything it needs to get rooted and grow. You immediately kick it out. You immediately throw out everything that was planted and trying to stick into your mind. Never allow it to stay and ponder on it. Well, how do you do that? Simply, when you kick something out of your mind that the devil has planted in, you replace it with what you want in your mind. Never just remove something and leave it empty. That's a place where he can come back and replant. Replace the plant, the seed that he planted, with the seed that you want to grow in your mind. Just remove and plant. For example, if the devil is trying to make you perverted, trying to pervert your mind, the way to counter that is you uproot it, kick it out, and then you start planting things in your mind that's the exact opposite of what he's trying to do. Don't hang around perverted people. Don't watch perverted things. Don't read perverted material. Do the exact opposite. Replace it with stuff that's not perverted to make you better. Listen, all of your life, you're going to have to desperately fight to stay in control of your mind. Satan is going to relentlessly throw seeds into your mind to get you to succumb to his way and doing his will. You cannot ever stop fighting. You got to safeguard your mind. You got to protect your mind. Your mind determines how you will live. Frustrate the enemy by not allowing him to frustrate you. Don't allow the devil to see you getting frustrated, crying, breaking down. You're showing him that he's getting to you. Show him that you are relentless as just as much as he is relentless coming after you. That you're never going to give in, never going to back down, never going to throw in the towel. You're going to fight him as long as he fights you. I laugh, physically laugh, when the devil puts stuff in my mind that I know I do not want to do. I show him you're not going to get to me. I've been going through this all my life. These mind battles and struggles has been with me for years, and I'm not going to allow this to bring me down. So I laugh at him and I replace it. If he's trying to get me to hate someone, I show them more love. I truly understand now how people become murderers, serial killers, perverted thinkers. I understand why. Because I see how Satan does me. How relentless he is at coming in my mind. He actually gets you to feel that way. He gives you visuals. He does all this stuff to get you to break down and do what he wants you to do. Everyone that's listening to me right now, that's going through severe mind battles and struggles, the devil is trying his best to get you to break down, to lose control of your thoughts and your mind. I'm here to encourage you, to let you know that you can beat him at his own game. Be it just as relentless as he is to you. Never let your guard down. Fight and fight on. Remember this, the devil cannot constantly bombard your mind forever. He must give you a break. He must leave for a season. When he leaves, it's time, that's the time that you must fortify your mind, that you must dive into good books, hang around good people, hang around things that are going to strengthen the core of your mind. This is important because if you don't take that time to strengthen your mind, when he comes back off his vacation and finds you still in the same state he left, he's just going to pick up where he left off. But if you took the time to strengthen your mind, when he comes back again, he's going to find you stronger, more difficult, more resilient. He has a harder time trying to pick you off. That is the time to get better, not worse. Please. I remember years ago when I was in my early 20s, I had just gave my life to Christ and I was the young Christian in the Lord. There was a woman that was in my life that constantly came around me, constantly keeping me weak, would not allow me to grow. It was Satan's seed, Satan's pawn that he was using to keep me weak and would not allow me to grow. I had to do something. I fell down on my knees and cried, literally cried to God. And I prayed this prayer. I said, Yahweh, if you don't help me, I will not make it. That's what I prayed. I said, if you don't help me, I'm not going to make it. This woman came around me all the time. Every week, I could not get away from her. But when I prayed that prayer, miraculously, she stopped coming around. She stayed away. Weeks, I never saw her. And I took that time to fortify my mind. I got into the Bible. I hung around people that were stronger than me, and I built myself up. When she came back around, I was bigger, better, stronger. And I looked her in the face and told her, no, this is it. It's over. And I put her out of my life. At first, I didn't have the strength to do that. But when I prayed that prayer with a sincere heart, Yahweh came to my aid. Yes. Whenever you pray with a sincere heart, Yahweh will show up and provide a way. The devil is determined to defeat you. You be more determined to defeat him and live your life the way you want to live it. God bless you. Hello. If you like what you heard, please, if you haven't done already, subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell and like this video. God bless you. Thank you.